When you let anger grow in your heart, it can lead to actions you will regret forever. Sometimes, words kill faster than weapons. Before the physical fight, Mummy Kevin had already wounded Joy deeply with her insults and rejection. Hello my people, please do me one small favor. Click the subscribe button, and turn on the bell so you never miss any of our touching, emotional, and life-changing stories. Your support helps us grow and keeps the stories coming. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy this story that will touch your heart. Thanks. Let's begin. In one quiet village in Nigeria, there lived a proud and strong woman named Mummy Kevin, because her only child, her son Kevin, was her world. From the day Kevin was born, her life changed. He was her miracle, her joy, and her reason to wake up every morning. She had prayed, fasted, cried at many church crusades, and even went to the mountains to pray before God finally gave her Kevin. She had no husband anymore. Kevin's father died when Kevin was just 2 years old. Since then, she raised her son alone. She trained him, fed him, worked like 10 men just to give him a good life. She sold everything, firewood, akara, pepper, Gary, just to send him to school. And God blessed her. Kevin grew up into a brilliant young man. He was smart, respectful, and focused. After university, he started a small business in the city. People didn't really believe in him at first, but Kevin kept pushing. In a few years, he became one of the youngest, richest businessmen in the city. He started supplying building materials, then opened his own logistics company. Very soon, big men began calling him boss. Banks, politicians, companies, they all wanted to work with Kevin. Even when he became rich, Kevin never forgot his mother. Every month, he sent her money. During Christmas, he would return to the village with bags of rice, oil, gifts for the church, and clothes for widows. He even built her a fine bungalow in the village painted white with blue windows. People came from all corners to see it. See that woman, they would say, not only one Peking she get, but see wedding that Peking Don do for am. Mummy Kevin would smile with pride. She would walk around the compound in her lace wrapper and gold necklace, with a small Bible always in her hand. And when visitors came, she would sit with her back straight and say, God is faithful. Kevin is my reward. Even at the village women's meeting, she was respected. Nobody could talk when Mummy Kevin was talking. When she entered any gathering, women stood up to greet her. She had become a queen in her own right. One day, as she sat in her veranda watching children play and sipping her pap, a neighbor walked past and greeted her. Mummy Kevin, good evening ma, God bless your son oh. Your Peking is doing wonders in the city. She smiled and waved. Nah God oh, Kevin is my everything. But deep inside her heart, one thing began to bother her. Kevin was getting older. He was now 32 years old and still not married. She wanted grandchildren. She wanted a wife who would cook for him, wash his clothes, and respect the family tradition. She began to pray again. But this time, not for money. Not for food, but for marriage. She wanted her only son to marry a good village girl. Someone that knows how to pound yam, greet elders, and tie 2 wrappers on her waist. Not these city girls that wear lashes like butterfly and walk like they are floating on air. Mummy Kevin had made up her mind. She was going to call her son and talk to him seriously. The next day, she charged her phone and sat on the plastic chair outside. Birds were singing. The sun was bright. She took a deep breath and dialed Kevin's number. Hello, Mummy, Kevin said cheerfully. How's my queen? She smiled. My son, my blessing. I'm doing well. I just wait for my grandchildren to start running around this compound. Kevin laughed. Mummy, that one go soon happen. Soon. Kevin, listen to me. You are not getting any younger. All your mates are married. What are you still waiting for? Kevin paused for a moment. Mummy, I understand, but I have found someone already. Who? She asked quickly. She's a good girl. Her name is Joy. I met her in the city. The smile on Mummy Kevin's face disappeared. City girl. Kevin, I hope your head never correct. Kevin chuckled. Mummy, calm down. Joy is a good woman. She's responsible, well educated, and she loves me. I don't want a woman that loves you with mouth. Mummy Kevin shouted. I want a woman that respects tradition. These city girls don't know how to keep a home. Their eyes are open. They know too much. Before you say anything, they're already on social media shouting. Kevin sighed. Mummy, I love her. We will see. The call ended. Mummy Kevin sat still for a long time, her phone lying quietly in her lap. She shook her head and whispered to herself, I will not allow one city girl to scatter the peace I built in this family. She stood up, walked into her room, and picked up her Bible. If this Joy thinks she will enter my son's life and take over, she will first pass through me. After their phone call, Kevin couldn't stop thinking about his mother's words. He respected his mother so much. She was the one who raised him. She was the one who suffered and prayed for him when he had nothing. But now, this marriage issue was beginning to cause serious tension. Kevin sat in his living room in Lagos. It was a big place, modern furniture, large flat-screen glass table, and soft music playing in the background. But even with all that comfort, his heart was heavy. Joy, his fiancée, was in the kitchen preparing jollof rice. She walked out with a smile. Baby, food is almost ready, she said, wiping her hands. Kevin smiled weakly. Thanks, love. She noticed something was wrong. Are you okay? He nodded. Yeah. Just thinking about something. Your mum again? Joy asked softly. Kevin sighed. Yes. Joy sat beside him. Kevin, I know she doesn't like me. But what have I done wrong? I respect her. I greet her. I've even tried to learn some village food like ukwa, and all that. What else does she want from me? Kevin held her hand. Joy, it's not about what you've done. My mummy she wants a village girl. She thinks you're too modern. Joy raised her brow. So, because I'm educated and live in the city, I'm a bad wife. No, that's not it. You know how village people think. My mummy believes city girls don't respect tradition. She wants someone who we pound yam, kneel to greet elders, and carry village lifestyle on her head. Joy shook her head. Kevin, if you want me to go and live in the village, I will. If you want me to wake up by 4 a.m. to wash your mummy's clothes, I will. But I won't let anyone insult my character because I live in the city. Kevin smiled, feeling emotional. That's why I love you. At that very moment, his phone rang. It was his mum. He picked up. Hello, mummy. My son, she said, her voice full of energy. How are you today? I'm fine, mummy. I've been thinking. This weekend, I want you to come home. We need to talk face to face. Kevin blinked. This weekend, I have some meetings. Leave the meetings, she said sharply. Family is more important. We must discuss this marriage matter properly. I'm not getting any younger. Kevin knew there was no point arguing. Okay, mummy, we come. As soon as the call ended, Kevin looked at Joy. She wants me to come home. Joy nodded slowly. I know. Just go. Listen to her. Maybe we understand. Kevin packed his things on Friday and traveled to the village on Saturday morning. The road was long and dusty, but when he reached, the whole compound was already waiting for him. As he stepped out of the car, kids ran towards him shouting, Uncle Kevin. Uncle Kevin. He smiled and hugged them. Mummy Kevin was already waiting at the veranda, hands on her hips. My son, she said proudly. You are welcome. I made pounded yam and bitter leaf soup. Thank you, mummy. After the meal, she didn't waste time. She sat down with her wrapper tied tightly, chewing kola nut, and cleared her throat. Kevin, she began, I know you think I'm old-fashioned. I know you want to follow your own heart. But this marriage matter is not just about love. It's about family. It's about peace. It's about future. Kevin listened. I have seen girls like this Joy you're talking about. They come with English and makeup and Instagram life. But when trouble comes, they run. They don't stay to build a home. They don't carry their husband's family on their head. Mummy, Joy is different. How? She snapped. Have I met her parents? Have they come to greet me? Did they even call to thank me for raising a good son? Kevin looked down. Let me tell you, she continued. There is one girl in this village in Ngozi. Her parents are from a good home. She just finished secondary school. Quiet girl, homely. She can cook, sweep, and she knows how to respect elders. She will never look you in the eye and raise her voice. Kevin raised his head. Mummy, I love Joy. Love will not cook food for you. Mummy, Kevin shouted. Love will not wash your clothes. You think I don't know what's going on in the city? Girls there use charm. They trap rich boys like you. Kevin stood up, angry. Mummy, please stop. Joy has never used anything on me. She loves me. I chose her. That's final. Mummy, Kevin also stood up. You think we sit down and watch one city girl destroy the only son I have? Over my dead body. Kevin walked away from the conversation. His heart was boiling. This was not what he expected. He thought maybe, just maybe, his mother would come to understand. But no, she had already made up her mind. And the worst part, Mummy Kevin was not done yet. In her mind, she had already started planning what to do next. Kevin returned to the city after the intense visit. He didn't tell Joy everything his mother said, but deep inside, he was worried. He could feel the battle lines had been drawn. Still, he didn't let it stop him. He was in love with Joy. She was everything he wanted in a woman: kind, respectful, hardworking, and loyal. She was also prayerful and always supportive of his dreams. 3 months later, they fixed their wedding date. Joy was excited. Her family was overjoyed. Kevin spent a lot of money to make it grand. Bridesmaid was selected. Canopy and decoration were handled by the best event planner in Lagos. DJ, music, food vendors, even photographers, everything was top class. But in the village, Mummy Kevin was not smiling. She wants to marry my son, she hissed to herself. Let me see how that will happen without me. She didn't even bother to call Joy's family or show interest in the wedding. She refused to pick their calls and even warned her relatives not to attend the wedding. On the wedding day, Kevin tried one last time. He called her early in the morning. Mummy, please, even if it's just to come and sit down quietly. I want your blessing. She coughed into the phone and said, I'm not feeling fine. My chest is doing me somehow. I can't come. Kevin's heart broke. But the wedding had to continue. Joy looked radiant in her lace blouse and wrapper. Her smile could melt hearts. Kevin, in his gold and red cap, looked like a true prince. Everything was going well: the dancing, the food, the gifts. But one thing was missing. Joy leaned close and whispered, your mum didn't come, right? Kevin nodded. Slowly. Joy looked down. I knew she wouldn't, but I won't let it spoil our day. And truly, they tried to be happy. But deep inside, Kevin knew a silent war had begun. Mummy Kevin didn't say anything for weeks after the wedding. No call, no text, no blessing. Then one Sunday evening, she arrived at their home in the city with a small Ghana must-go bag and her Bible in hand. Joy was shocked to see her. Mummy, good evening, she greeted, kneeling down. Mummy Kevin just looked at her from head to toe. Good evening. Where is my son? Kevin came out of the room. Mummy, you didn't tell me you were coming. Must I inform you before visiting my own son's house? Kevin knew trouble had entered. That night, Mummy Kevin refused to eat the food Joy cooked. This soup is too sweet. Did you use sugar to cook it? Village women don't cook like this, she said loudly. Joy smiled and said, it's just tomatoes and onions. The next day, she complained the meat was too soft. You don't know how to cook bush meat, you city girls just want to kill people with pepper and microwave. Kevin tried to speak to her in private. Mummy, please take it easy. I'm only telling her the truth. She wants to become a real wife. She better learn how to be one. Joy began to cry silently at night. Kevin would comfort her. Please be patient. She will get used to you. But things kept getting worse. Mummy Kevin would wake up early, sweep the house angrily, and shout, this one can't even wake up to help. What kind of woman is this? Joy would quietly go to the kitchen and try to join her, but Mummy Kevin would push her aside. Don't spoil my food. Go and do your social media cooking. As Joy greeted her, Mummy Kevin hissed and said, stop greeting me. Don't greet me when you're not pregnant. Joy froze. Kevin heard it and shouted, Mummy. That's too much. But the damage had already been done. Mummy Kevin had planted the seed. Soon, she began calling relatives and telling them, this girl is barren. I said it from day one. My son has married empty calabash. The silent war was no longer silent. It was now loud, bitter, and cruel. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, no child. At first, Kevin and Joy didn't panic. They were praying and hoping. They even laughed about it sometimes. Maybe God just wants us to enjoy each other first, Joy would say, trying to stay positive. But outside their home, whispers were growing louder. In the family group chat, someone dropped this message. Kevin, when are we carrying babies? You know your mother is not getting younger. Oh. Mummy Kevin added, I've said my own. My mouth will not pain me. Kevin ignored them. Joy cried that night. Why are they blaming only me? Kevin hugged her tightly. They are foolish. Don't let them break you. But the pressure was growing. One Sunday, after church, Mummy Kevin stood up in the living room, Bible in her hand. Joy, she called. Yes, Mummy, Joy answered, already nervous. Sit down. Let us talk like women. I have tried to be patient. I have tried to be nice. But I cannot watch my only son waste his life. This is 4 years now. Where is the child? Joy's lips trembled. Mummy, we're still praying. Praying. Mummy Kevin shouted. Are you the first to pray? Even in the Bible, they said be fruitful and multiply. What are you multiplying here? Kevin stood up angrily. Mummy, this is my wife you're talking to. Mummy Kevin faced him. So I should close my mouth while she turns you into a laughingstock? People are saying your wife is a man in disguise. Maybe she removed her womb to chase fashion. Joy broke down crying. Kevin shouted, that's enough. I won't let you talk to my wife like this. But Mummy Kevin was just getting started. That night, she called her pastor in the village. Pastor, please pray for my son. This city girl he married is not ordinary. She has tied his destiny. My ancestors are not happy. I want to bring him back to his roots. The pastor prayed and said, Mother, you need to act fast. Before it's too late, the Mummy Kevin began her next plan. She called a young girl from the village. Happy she was just 20. Simple, quiet, very beautiful in a humble way. She arranged for her to come to the city under the lie of house help. When Ada arrived, Joy was confused. Mummy, who is this girl? Mummy Kevin replied with a fake smile. She's just here to help you. Since you said you're tired all the time. Joy knew something was wrong, but she kept quiet. She overheard Mummy Kevin telling Happy, don't worry. You will soon be madam of this house. Just be patient. Joy told Kevin everything. Kevin was furious. This is madness. He confronted his mother. How can you bring another girl to my house? Mummy Kevin looked him in the eye. I'm saving your future. If you can't father a child with this one, try another. Kevin shouted, this is my marriage. You don't control it. Mummy Kevin shouted louder. And this is my only son. I won't let your enemies bury your name. Kevin sent Happy back to the village that same week. Mummy Kevin packed her things and said, you have chosen your wife. Let's see how far it will go. She stormed out of the house. Joy tried to be strong. But inside her heart, the pain was deep. Every day she stared at her stomach, praying, begging God for just one sign. One kick, one missed period, anything. But the months kept rolling by empty. She told Kevin, let's go to the hospital. Kevin nodded. Let's. We'll go together. They ran all the tests. The doctor said gently, sir, you're perfectly fine. Madam, you're also healthy. But sometimes, it just takes time. Joy forced a smile, but her heart was breaking. When they got home, Kevin held her and whispered, no matter what, I'm not leaving you. But outside their home, Mummy Kevin was cooking another plan. After Mummy Kevin stormed out of Kevin's house, she returned to the village, but she didn't go back empty-handed. She went with bitterness in her heart and a decision in her mind. If I can't remove this girl with peace, I will do it with fire. She didn't waste time. She went straight to the shrine of a well-known herbalist in the next village. The man was feared. People said he could make the rain fall in one compound and leave the next one dry. When she arrived, he smiled as if he had been expecting her. Mummy Kevin, the man said, I know why you're here. Sit down. She sat, surprised. I see a woman blocking your son's fruitfulness, he said, staring into his calabash. Mummy Kevin gasped. Yes. That's it. She's the one. She tied his destiny with city charms. You need to fight fire with fire, the herbalist said. Mummy Kevin opened her wrapper and brought out a picture of Joy and Kevin on their wedding day. This is her. Joy. Her name is Joy, but she's bringing sorrow. The herbalist took the picture, burned it halfway, chanted some words, and said, leave the rest to me. Mummy Kevin went back home with a wicked smile. She believed victory was near. Back in the city, Joy started having strange dreams. In one dream, she saw Mummy Kevin chasing her with a cutlass. In another, she saw a dark shadow pressing her chest while she slept. She woke up screaming. Kevin held her. What's going on? Joy was shaking. I feel something bad is coming. I don't understand. The next day, her left leg began to swell. By evening, her right hand was shaking uncontrollably. Kevin rushed her to the hospital. The doctors ran tests. Nothing is wrong, they said. We can't explain the swelling. That night, Joy cried bitterly. Baby, she said, I don't think this is ordinary. Kevin began to pray that night like never before. He called pastors, prophets, even his old school fellowship leader, but each one said the same thing. Someone is attacking your home spiritually. Kevin grew angry. He picked up his phone and called his mother. Mummy, are you doing something against my wife? Mummy Kevin laughed on the phone. Why are you calling me? Go and ask your wife what she did in her past. Kevin ended the call in tears. Joy's condition got worse. She started forgetting things. She would enter the kitchen and ask, why did I come here? She began hearing voices. At midnight, she would wake up and say, someone is calling me. Kevin didn't know what else to do. He quit his job temporarily to stay with her full time. Her once beautiful eyes were now pale and sunken. Her smiles were gone. Even neighbors began to talk. Ah, that woman is not ordinary, oh, one said. Since she entered this compound, the atmosphere changed. Neighbor called Kevin aside. Brother, take your wife for deliverance. She's under serious attack. Kevin agreed. He took her to a prayer mountain. They fasted. They prayed. They cried. After 7 days, Joy looked better. The swelling reduced. Her eyes brightened. Kevin's smile became very happy. But just when they thought it was over, Mummy Kevin appeared again, this time, in person. She arrived early in the morning with 2 bags of yam, palm oil, and bitter leaf. Joy opened the door, shocked. Mummy, I came to stay for some time, she said with a fake smile. Joy didn't want to complain. She let her in. That evening, Kevin came home and saw his mother seated like a queen on the sofa, watching Yoruba movies. Mummy, why didn't you tell me you were coming? She smiled. I just wanted to surprise you. But her surprise was not innocent. That night, she waited until Kevin slept. Then she went into the kitchen, took a bottle of anointing oil, and poured it all over the doorway, but not the holy kind. It was prepared from the shrine. She murmured strange words. Any woman that stays here and blocks my son's joy, let her return to the soil. Joy, from her sleep, suddenly screamed. Kevin rushed in. What's wrong? She was gasping for air. I saw something. Something dark. It was standing by the door. Mummy Kevin stood in the corner, watching silently. And in her heart, she said, it has started. After that strange night, everything changed again. Joy refused to keep quiet anymore. I don't know what your mother is doing here, she told Kevin one morning, but her presence brings darkness. Kevin nodded slowly. I know. I feel it too. But if we keep quiet, she will finish me, Joy said, her voice shaking. She called her mother on the phone. Mama Joy was a strong prayer woman from a prayer group in Benin. Mummy, Joy cried, they want to bury me alive. Mummy Joy didn't shout. She didn't panic. She simply said, let me pack my Bible. The next morning, Mummy Joy arrived in Lagos. She didn't wear makeup. She didn't even greet too much. Once she saw Joy, her eyes watered. My daughter. This is not ordinary. Kevin welcomed her. Mummy Kevin rolled her eyes. So this one has come to back her daughter's witchcraft. Mummy Joy didn't answer her. Instead, she asked, Kevin, is there a room we can use for prayer? Kevin nodded. That night, prayer started. Real fire prayer. No noise. No shouting. Just serious, deep, spiritual battle. Every arrow from the pit of hell. Go back to sender. Every evil hand stretched toward my daughter's womb. Wither. Every strange woman troubling this home. Be exposed. While the prayer was going on, Mummy Kevin was in her room, sweating. She couldn't sleep. She turned left heat. She turned right cold. She tried to pray her own prayer, but her tongue twisted. At midnight, she saw a strange shadow at her window. Who is there? She shouted. The shadow whispered back, you called us. Why are you afraid? She jumped from the bed. That morning, she woke up with her left eye swollen. Kevin rushed to her. Mummy, what happened? She lied. It's mosquito. But she knew the truth. Prayer fire had started burning the altar she built. Joy began to get stronger. Her voice returned. Her eyes cleared. She could sleep again. Even neighbors noticed. Wedding Joy day chop now. She day fresh, one of them said. But Mummy Kevin wasn't happy. She stood in front of the house and made a vow. If this girl thinks she has won, let her wait. She went back to her herbalist the next week. This fire is too strong, she complained. The man shook his head. That girl is surrounded by angels. But we can still try one last thing. He gave her a bottle filled with black oil and a powder wrapped in white cloth. Pour this oil at the doorstep. Blow the powder on her pillow. She'll stop seeing the next moon. Mummy Kevin nodded. Back in Lagos, Joy and Mummy Joy were not sleeping either. They fasted. They prayed. They called on God. One night, Joy had a dream. She saw herself in a dark forest. Mummy Kevin was chasing her again, but this time, she didn't run. She stopped. She turned around and shouted, "In Jesus' name." Mummy Kevin disappeared like smoke. Joy woke up crying with joy. Mummy, the battle is almost over. But Mummy Kevin hadn't given up. The next night, she tried to sneak into the bedroom while Kevin and Joy were sleeping. She held the powder in her left hand, the black oil in her right. She tiptoed toward Joy's pillow. Just as she raised her hand to blow the powder, a loud clap of thunder hit outside the house. The window blew open. Mummy Kevin screamed and ran out of the room, shouting, "Fire! Fire is burning me!" Kevin woke up. Joy woke up. Mama Joy rushed in. "Mummy, what are you doing?" Kevin shouted. Mummy Kevin couldn't talk. Her tongue was tied. Her hands were shaking. She dropped the oil and powder on the floor and collapsed. Joy looked at the items. She recognized the wrapper from her dreams. Kevin was shaking. "What is this?" Mama Joy said calmly, "The enemy just exposed herself." That night, Kevin called an ambulance. They rushed Mummy Kevin to the hospital. The doctors checked her and said, "We can't explain it. Her blood pressure is normal. Her heart is okay. But she cannot speak. She's just shaking." Joy looked at Kevin. Kevin looked at the sky. He whispered, "God, you are fighting for us." But the war was not yet over. Something darker was coming. The hospital room was silent. Too silent. Mummy Kevin lay on the bed, her eyes wide open. She couldn't speak. She couldn't blink properly. Just slow, strange movements. Kevin stood beside her, confused and scared. "Mummy, say something now," he whispered, but there was no answer. Joy was outside the room, sitting quietly with her mother. "Do you think she will recover?" Joy asked softly. Mummy Joy looked up, serious. "My daughter, what we are dealing with is deeper than the hospital can handle." Joy sighed. She was tired. Tired of being blamed. Tired of the attacks. Tired of trying to prove herself. Suddenly, a nurse rushed out of the ward. "Please, who is the next of kin?" she asked. Kevin jumped up. "I am her son. What's going on?" The nurse was panicking. "She's screaming. She's trying to get off the bed. We had to tie her hands." Kevin ran in, and there she was. Mummy Kevin, who couldn't speak an hour ago, was now shouting in the hospital room. But it wasn't her normal voice. She was crying like a small child. "She's coming. She's coming. Please forgive me. I didn't know she had a covenant." The nurses stood back, frightened. One nurse whispered, "I think she's seeing something we can't see." Kevin grabbed her hand. "Mummy, who is coming?" Mummy Kevin looked at him with red, terrified eyes. "Joy, her angel. It's too powerful. I didn't mean to kill her. I only wanted her to go away." Kevin's heart sank. You tried to kill my wife." She cried like a baby. "She's the one blocking your blessing. I only wanted to help you. I didn't want her to bury your name." Kevin stepped back in horror. At that moment, Joy and her mother entered the room. Mummy Kevin started coughing, violently. Mummy Joy picked up her Bible and said, "No evil shall prosper here again." She read Psalm 35 out loud. Mummy Kevin began to vomit a black, sticky substance. One nurse shouted, "Jesus." Another nurse fainted. The doctor ran in. "Please stop whatever you people are doing here. This is a hospital, not a church." But no one listened. Because that night, a spiritual war was being fought inside a hospital room. By morning, Mummy Kevin was calm. Silent again. This time, not because of evil but because her power had been broken. The doctor walked in slowly. "Medically, we can't explain what happened," he said. "But she's stable now." Kevin looked at Joy, then looked at the woman lying on the bed. The same woman who had raised him. The same woman who nearly destroyed his home. He didn't know what to feel, anger or pity. Later that afternoon, he took a long walk. Joy followed him. "Kevin, are you okay?" she asked. He didn't reply for a while. Then he stopped walking and turned to her. "My whole life, I thought my mummy was protecting me. I didn't know she was slowly destroying everything." Joy held his hand. "Love can blind people, but you saw the truth before it was too late." He nodded, then whispered, "I'm sorry I ever doubted you." Joy smiled sadly. "I just want peace, Kevin. I don't want to die young." He hugged her tightly. But that hug did not last long. That same night, Joy started bleeding. She screamed from the bathroom. Blood everywhere. Kevin rushed in and carried her in his arms, shouting, "Help! Help me please." Mummy Joy came out, saw the blood, and started crying. No, 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 no. Not now. They rushed her to the same hospital. The doctor checked and looked worried. She's losing too much blood, he said. She needs a miracle. Kevin broke down in front of the doctor. No, God, please. After everything, not like this. He called pastors again. He called prayer warriors. He dropped on his knees in the hospital hallway and cried like a baby. Meanwhile, in her hospital bed, Joy could barely speak. She looked at her mother and whispered, "Mummy, don't let me die." Mummy Joy knelt beside her. "You will not die, my daughter. Your enemies will die instead." But deep in her heart, Mummy Joy was afraid. Because what was happening now looked like the final blow. The hospital was like a war zone. Doctors and nurses rushed everywhere. Kevin stood by Joy's bedside, holding her frail hand as if letting go would mean losing her forever. Joy's face was pale, her breath shallow. Kevin's heart pounded loudly in the quiet room. "Please," he whispered, "stay with me, Joy." Joy opened her eyes weakly. She tried to smile, but the pain was too much. Kevin looked at the doctors. "What can you do?" he asked, voice breaking. The doctor shook his head. "Her body is weak. But we will do our best." Kevin's phone rang. It was Mummy Kevin's hospital room calling. Why now? Kevin thought. Still, he answered. "Kevin," his mother's voice was low and shaky, "you must listen." Kevin's eyes widened. "Mummy." "Yes. Listen carefully," she said. "Joy is not just sick. Something dark is attached to her." Kevin's blood froze. "What do you mean?" "A curse. A curse placed on her womb, her life. By someone who doesn't want you happy." Kevin swallowed hard. "Who?" "Mummy. There are forces beyond this world, son. You can't fight them with money." Kevin looked at Joy, then back at his mother. "Is there a way to break the curse?" "Yes. But it will cost everything." Kevin clenched his fists. "I'm ready." Meanwhile, Joy was slipping in and out of consciousness. She felt cold, empty. She whispered, "Kevin. I'm scared." Kevin squeezed her hand. "I'm here, Joy. Don't let go." Joy's eyes fluttered closed. At that moment, a dark shadow appeared in the hospital room. No one else could see it. Only Kevin. He gasped. "Mummy. Is this your doing?" The shadow moved closer to Joy's bed. Kevin stood, furious. "Leave her alone," he yelled and held a small cross his mother had given him. The shadow paused and hissed. "You cannot stop what has begun." Suddenly, the lights flickered. Joy screamed in pain. Kevin dropped the cross. "Joy." Tears streamed down his face. "Mummy Kevin, help me. Please." From the other room, Mummy Kevin's weak voice came. "This is your fight now, Kevin. Don't let the darkness win." Kevin took a deep breath. He closed his eyes and prayed harder than ever. "God, give me strength." He opened his eyes. The shadow was gone. Joy's breathing steadied. Kevin whispered, "Hold on, Joy. Please, hold on." The night was long. Kevin never left her side. The sun rose, casting light into the room. Joy's lips moved. "I love you," she whispered. Kevin smiled through tears. "I love you too." But the battle was not over. Darkness still lingered. Joy was still alive, but weak. The doctors said they were doing all they could. But Kevin knew this was no longer a medical matter. So, he got into his car and drove straight to the village. To the one place his mother had warned him never to visit. A powerful native priest. This man, they said, could see the past, present, and future. Kevin arrived at the edge of the forest. It was quiet. Too quiet. Birds stopped singing. Even the wind held its breath. He walked into the priest's hut, small, smoky, filled with strange carvings. The old man sat cross-legged, eyes closed. He didn't look surprised when Kevin entered. "I've been expecting you," he said without opening his eyes. Kevin swallowed. "Please, I need help. My wife. She's dying." The priest finally opened his eyes. "You married a woman whose destiny is greater than yours." Kevin frowned. "What do you mean? She carries light, but too many dark hands are pulling her down." Kevin's heart pounded. "Can I save her?" The old man sighed. "Yes. But it will cost something very heavy." Kevin leaned forward. "Name it." The man looked into Kevin's eyes. "You must choose between your mother and your wife." Kevin gasped. "What?" The priest nodded. "One must go, so the other may live." Kevin stood up, pacing the room. "No, I can't choose that. There must be another way." The old man shook his head. "There's no middle ground when the spirits are involved." Kevin looked up at the ceiling, tears in his eyes. "How did my life get here?" he whispered. He remembered his mother's voice. City girls have open eyes. He remembered Joy's words. I just want peace, Kevin. I don't want to die young. He clenched his fists. Then he asked, if I refuse to choose. The priest's face turned dark. Then you lose both. Kevin sank to the floor. He stayed silent for a long time. Finally, he stood up. I will not choose. Let God decide. The old man sighed. Then pray hard, son. Because this battle will end in blood. Kevin left the hut and drove back to the city. He didn't know what he would find when he returned. But he knew the time was short. Back at the hospital, Joy was unconscious again. Her mother sat beside her, crying softly. She doesn't deserve this, Mummy Joy said. She doesn't, a nurse whispered. But trouble was still coming. Because Mummy Kevin had escaped the hospital. She returned home, angry, broken, and ready to finish what she started. I warned her, she muttered to herself. If I can't have peace, nobody will. She walked straight into the kitchen and picked up a wooden pestle, the same one Joy used every morning to pound yam. The same one she would now use for war. Mummy Kevin had crossed the line. She was no longer thinking like a mother. She was now thinking like a warrior fighting to protect her name, her legacy, her family. And in her heart, Joy was the enemy. She came from the city with her proud ways. No child, no respect, she hissed to herself. Now she's holding my son's life in her hands. Mummy Kevin locked herself in the kitchen. She placed the heavy wooden pestle on the floor and knelt before it like a weapon. She started chanting. Yes, she was mixing her anger with tradition. Some would call it madness. Others would call it a spiritual attack. But to her it was survival. Meanwhile at the hospital, Kevin returned and found his mother's hospital bed empty. His heart skipped a beat. Where is she? He shouted. The nurse looked scared. She left while we were attending to another patient. We thought she went home. Kevin grabbed his phone and called. No answer. He tried again and again. Nothing. He rushed to the ward where Joy was sleeping. She was breathing softly, but something felt wrong. The air felt heavy. Too still. Kevin's instincts kicked in. He knew something bad was about to happen. He whispered, God, please not now. Back at home, Mummy Kevin was boiling herbs, muttering words. Her eyes had gone red. She was no longer the loving mother who once carried her son on her back. She was now a woman on a mission, a dangerous one. When the potion was ready, she dipped a small cloth into it. She wrapped it around the pestle and whispered, this girl will not destroy my family. Hours later, Joy was discharged from the hospital. She insisted she was okay. Kevin helped her into the car. She smiled faintly. I'm happy to go home. Kevin forced a smile. We protect you. But the battle was already waiting. They got home late in the evening. Joy lay on the bed and quickly fell asleep from weakness. Kevin checked every room, every corner. He didn't see his mother. But she was there, watching, waiting, burning with hatred. Around midnight, Joy got up to drink water. As she walked toward the kitchen, she felt something cold behind her. She turned. Nothing. She stepped into the kitchen. Then, a loud scream. Kevin jumped out of bed and ran. What he saw would never leave his memory. His mother, standing over Joy, holding the pestle, blood dripping from it. Joy was lying on the floor, motionless, blood flowing from her head. Mummy, Kevin shouted. Mummy Kevin dropped the pestle and froze. She wanted to destroy our family. She screamed. Kevin knelt beside Joy, crying. No, Joy. She wasn't breathing. Mummy. You've killed her. His mother fell to the floor, shaking. She cursed us, Kevin. She cursed our home. Kevin called an ambulance, his hands trembling. But it was too late. Joy was gone. The sound of the ambulance siren echoed through the street, but it was already too late. Joy was gone. Kevin knelt beside her lifeless body, refusing to believe what his eyes were seeing. He was shaking, sweating, crying. Mummy. Why? His voice was low, broken. Mummy Kevin stood in one corner of the room, confused and muttering to herself. She was the problem. She was blocking our blessings. She was not meant for you. The door burst open. Police officers entered the house. Someone had called them, maybe a neighbor who heard the scream. Maybe one of the nurses from the hospital. Either way, they came fast. 2 officers rushed toward Joy's body. Another turned to Kevin. Are you the husband? Kevin nodded slowly, unable to speak. The officer looked around, then spotted the bloodied pestle. His eyes narrowed. Then he looked at Mummy Kevin, whose clothes were soaked in herbs and blood. She did it, Kevin whispered. Everyone froze. Kevin stood up and faced his mother. You killed my wife. Mummy Kevin's eyes blinked. She was not your wife. Not truly. I was protecting you. One of the officers stepped forward. Madam, you're under arrest for murder. They pulled out handcuffs. Wait, Kevin shouted, but it was too late. The cuffs clicked around her wrists. Mummy Kevin screamed. Kevin, tell them I'm your mother. Tell them I did it for you. Kevin looked at her, tears running freely down his face. You did it to me. She fell to her knees. As they pulled her outside, the street was filled with shocked neighbors. Some were crying. Some were just silent. The once respected Mummy Kevin, known for her boldness, her beauty, her strong voice, was now in handcuffs, being taken away like a common criminal. Kevin watched the police car drive away. He felt hollow. He had just lost everything in one night. His wife was gone. His mother was gone. His peace was gone. Later that night, Kevin sat alone in the living room. He held Joy's wedding ring in one hand and a picture of her smiling in the other. He whispered, I should have protected you better. He looked at the ceiling, his eyes full of pain. God. Why? But the answer didn't come. Just silence. The silence of a home that once held love, and now only held grief. The news of Joy's death spread faster than wildfire. It had reached the village square. Old women carrying baskets stopped in the middle of the road when they heard it. Young boys playing football dropped the ball and rushed to ask questions. The same woman who was always proud of her son, the famous Mummy Kevin, was now the talk of every household. She killed her daughter-in-law. I heard she used the pestle. Pestle, as in the one for pounding yam. Yes. Blood everywhere. Women covered their mouths. Men shook their heads. Even the village chief sat down in silence when his messenger brought the full report. This is heavy, he muttered. This is shameful. At the village stream, young girls fetching water couldn't stop talking. I knew it. That woman has strong spirit. Didn't I tell you she didn't like the city girl? What will happen to Kevin now? What kind of mother does this? In Mummy Kevin's compound, her relatives gathered quickly. Her elder brother, uncle, arrived from the next village. He was furious. This is a big disgrace. He shouted. This is not how we settle family issues. Mummy Kevin's younger sister tried to defend her. She didn't mean to kill her. Maybe it was mistake. But nobody listened. Her compound, once full of laughter and pride, now felt like a funeral ground. The windows were shut. The doors were locked. No one dared enter. No one wanted to be associated with what had happened. Meanwhile, back in the city, Kevin stayed indoors. He didn't eat. He didn't sleep. He just stared at the wall, surrounded by pictures of Joy. Her smile, her eyes, her laughter, all gone. People came to visit him, but he said nothing. He was empty inside. Even Joy's mother visited. She sat beside him and cried. Why did I allow her to marry into your family? She asked. Kevin didn't answer. Because he didn't know the answer either. The next day, Joy's funeral plans began. But Kevin didn't even know where to start. Was he to bury his wife with his mother in prison? Was he supposed to pretend everything was okay? Should he return her body to the village? So many questions. No answers. Just pain. Just silence. Just gossip everywhere. At the police station, Mummy Kevin sat in a corner of the cell. She was not talking much. But inside her, a storm was brewing. I only wanted a child for my son, she whispered. Is that a crime? She looked at her hands once used to carry Kevin as a baby. Now covered in chains. I was protecting him, she told herself. But deep inside, a quiet voice whispered back. You were destroying him. The day Joy was buried, the sky looked like it wanted to cry too. The clouds were heavy and gray. Rain fell softly, like tears from heaven. Kevin stood by her coffin, silent. His hands trembled as he held a framed photo of her. She was smiling in the picture. A beautiful, innocent smile. One that nobody would ever see again. The funeral ground was quiet. Friends, neighbors, and some distant family members came. But many people stayed away. Why? Because of the shame. Because the story had gone viral. Mummy Kevin kills her son's wife. Some people came just to gossip. Some came to post pictures on social media. Only a few came with pure hearts. Kevin stood like a statue. His heart was too broken to cry. The pastor gave a short message. He tried to speak of forgiveness, of healing, of God's timing. But the pain in the air was too thick. Even the choir's songs sounded like whispers. When it was time to lower the coffin, Kevin dropped a rose on top. I'm sorry, Joy, he whispered. I should have protected you. Then came the real pain. As they started covering the grave with sand, Kevin couldn't take it anymore. He shouted, "Why did you leave me?" People tried to hold him. But he fell to the ground, crying. It was a cry from the deepest part of a man's soul. Not just sorrow, but guilt, regret, shame. He was crying for a love that ended in blood. In the background, Joy's mother sobbed loudly. They said she was the problem. They called her barren. But now she's the one in the ground. The mourners murmured. It was a burial, yes. But not a peaceful one. Because the real battle hadn't ended. The real storm was still ahead. Far away in prison, Mummy Kevin was not allowed to attend the burial. She asked. She begged. She cried. But the law refused. She sat in her prison uniform that day, holding a small Bible someone gave her. She had no tears left. Only emptiness. "Kevin. Forgive me," she whispered into the cold air. But Kevin couldn't hear her. He was too busy burying his wife. And a piece of himself. That night, Kevin returned to the empty house. Everything reminded him of Joy. Her slippers. Her favorite cup. Her perfume on the bedsheets. He walked into the bedroom and sat at the edge of the bed. "I should have listened to you," he whispered. He looked up at the ceiling, where the fan slowly turned. Then he closed his eyes and wept silently, like a broken child. 2 years passed. Kevin never forgot. Joy's memory lived with him every single day. He didn't remarry. He didn't move her things. He didn't even touch her room. He only visited one place more than his office or grave. It was a quiet spot under a tree in Joy's village. Each month, Kevin would travel down alone, carrying a small candle. He would kneel. He would clean the grave. He would talk to her. "I hope you're at peace. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. I love you, Joy. Always." And when no one was looking, he would cry like a baby. The villagers called the spot the crying place. Kevin lit a candle as usual. But this time, someone else was watching from behind a tree. Mummy Kevin. She had been released from prison just a few weeks before. She didn't come to talk. She didn't come to fight. She came to see for herself what her hands had caused. And when she saw her son kneeling at Joy's grave, whispering, crying, shaking, her legs gave way. She fell to the ground and began to sob loudly. Kevin turned and saw her. He stood still. He didn't say anything, just watched. After some seconds, he turned back to Joy's grave and whispered, "This is what you always prayed for. Peace." Later that evening, Kevin finally spoke to her. "I'm not angry anymore," he said. "But I'm empty." Mummy Kevin fell on her knees. "I don't deserve your forgiveness. I only came to say sorry to you and to Joy." Kevin nodded slowly. "I forgave you a long time ago. But forgiveness doesn't bring Joy back." She wiped her tears. "Yes, but maybe it can help bring you back." He looked at her. No hate, just pain. And for the first time, mother and son cried together. As they walked away from the grave, Kevin turned one last time. The candle he had lit was still standing. Still burning. Just like his love for Joy. Forever. Thank you so much for listening to the story of Mummy Kevin, and Joy. This story reminds us how love, pride, and misunderstanding can change lives forever. Sometimes, the hardest battles happen within families. And sometimes, forgiveness is the first step toward healing, even when the pain feels too deep. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world, and it helps me bring you more powerful stories like this one. Also, let me know in the comments what you think about the story. Do you think Mummy Kevin deserved forgiveness? Or should Kevin have stayed angry? Remember, every story teaches us something about love, loss, or hope. Until next time, take care of your loved ones and never take a single moment for granted. Thank you for watching, and God bless you all. Bye.